Alright, what's going on, my boys? I'm back with a new series. Let's go. This is What if Deku had the element of lightning part one. Um, how do I start off? I think I start off by doing the quirk, but I don't. Yeah, okay, basically what it is, he could just manipulate lightning and energy, or like power. Which, what I mean is, like, of course, he can do like lightning from like the sky and all that, but he could also like control the energy and like power in just normal everyday life things. So like he could take power from, let's say, I don't know, freaking a cell phone. He could take it from that if he really wants to. But I don't know. I'll just explain it later on. Let me just explain it later on. But yeah, I guess we could just get into it because I don't know what else to say. But yeah. So yeah, as Deku was growing up, he would always tell everyone that he would have a strong quirk like All Might. And Inko agreed with him because he's her son, so she kind of like has to. But the one person that denied it was Bakio, of course. And at this point, Bakio like already manifested his quirk, and it's been a week since then. The other kids have also gotten theirs, like quirks, and Deku seems to be like the last one to develop his. So Bakugo kept on bullying Deku like every day because he didn't have a quirk, and he even went to the doctor, like the evil one, as canon, and he even thought that Deku was quirkless, like that, like something was up. And because of the doctor saying like Deku was quirkless, things went basically as canon, except like something different happened on the day the teacher like told the class Midoriya was applying for UA. So basically a large time skip went to middle school. Like the start of the anime is what I'm saying. And after class ended, Bakugo and his group like went over to Deku's desk, and Bakugo just kept yelling at Deku that if he goes to UA, he'll kill him. But Deku interrupted and said, "Look, all right, I'm not actually going there for the hero course." And Bakugo actually like stopped and said, like, "What do you mean, you quirkless nerd?" And Deku like looks up at Bakugo and says, "Why do you sound offended by that?" Anyways, I know that without a quirk I could die, but I actually like inventing things like support items, I guess. Which, I'm not gonna lie, I stole that from Jay. Like, this was supposed to be like, what if Deku was Jay from Ninjago, but I mean, that looks cooler. So, but yeah, this is basically like him being Jay. So, Jay, he likes to invent, so might as well give it to Deku. But Bakio's group actually thought it was like cool and said to each other, "Well, he does always make support item ideas in his notebook. Like also that explains why his hands look so worn out." So they're actually like, "Oh shoot, like we can try to bully him. Hold on, wait, he actually looks like he's pretty cool." So Bakio gets annoyed and exploded Deku's death, saying like, "What happened to you wanting to be a hero?" And Bakugo stopped and realized what he just said, like, and then that made him even angrier and told Deku to fight him right now. So, Deku said no, and Bakugo took Deku's notebook, exploding it. So Deku gets mad and says, like, "What's your problem? I finally did what you've been telling me to do ever since we were little. That I should just give up on my hero dream." And that actually makes Deku begin to like tear up. He's like, I've always wanted to be a hero, and I still do. I want to be like a hero who saves everyone, but I can't." And Bakugo's group stays quiet and waits for Bakugo's response because now they're watching freaking drama TV show. That's what they're doing. They're watching a drama anime. But um, Bakugo gets fed up and just punches Deku in the face without like using his quirk, and then he says, "If you're not fighting, then it looks like you're just gonna get even more brain dead." Punching him again. So the group of then like jumped in to try and stop Bakugo, but he took care of them with like one explosion. And then like he didn't actually explode him. He just like pushed them all back because everyone's weaker to Bakugo, I guess. But yeah, so then Bakio picks up Deku by the shirt and just runs towards the window, jumping out of it. So they're on like the top story, by the way. Yeah, they're on the top because they're in like the last year, so yeah, it just makes sense. And the group instantly gets up and like rushes out to stop Bakio. So they fall and Bakio is still like punching Deku. So Deku gets angrier and yells like "Stop!" and punches him back with a good hook. Like it's a good punch. I honestly think, hmm. Oh yeah, screw it. All right, he already has his body from the 10 months that passed in canon. So they're Bakio and Deku. They're basically on par if Bakio didn't have a quirk. But then Deku grabs his like Bakio's arm and flips around in midair, making Bakio hit the ground first. And when they land, Bakio spits out a bit of blood. I'm not gonna lie. Or no, not blood. Now make it spit. Yeah, I'll make it spit. I don't know why that's so important, but yeah. Um, from the fall, and they both try to get up. So the group makes it out and yells like at Bakio saying, "What are you doing?" And Bakio tells them to back off and kicks Deku in the face with an explosion. So actually, no, he can't use his feet. His feet can't create explosions. It's only his hands. Yeah, screw it. Actually, no, wait, because I. Ooh. Okay, yeah, just yeah. Forget that. He just punched him in the face with his explosion in his hand. So yeah, anyway, Deku gets sent into a brick wall, of course, and lays there groaning in like with pain. And Bakugo just rushes at him and says like, "How useless can you be?" Punching Deku in the gut. And Deku actually he does cough up blood. And the group runs in to like stop Bakugo. So they take his attention away and like they team up on Bakugo. So I'm pretty sure they all have weak quirks. So Deku's just watching as Bakugo is like giving no mercy to them. And he thinks to himself like everyone left, so it's only us here and I can only watch because I don't have a stupid quirk. What torture is this? And he hates it. So then he remembers how All Might saves people no matter what. Like even if it looks impossible. Like he always does save them. Which remembering that like makes Deku smile and like he slowly gets up because his will is freaking strong. I don't know, manga readers like his will's pretty strong. You gotta admit that. But anyway, um, yeah. So Baki was like finishing off the other students and looks over to see Deku just standing there with his head down. Like every single main character does when they're getting a power up. And Deku says out loud like, if you want to fight so badly, I'll give you one. And bolts like of green lightning start to form around Deku. So Bakugo gets confused and then smirks. Well, look at this. You have a quirk now, but I'm guessing it's weak just like you. As he launches himself like to attack Deku. So Deku looks up and his eyes are like pure white. No, they're not. Never mind. No, they're the same. What am I talking about? No, 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 no. They're the same. And yeah, just forget what I said. But the other students, like, they see Deku and try to watch and see like what happens next. So Deku pulls back his fist and says like, "I will be a hero like All Might." One that saves everyone with a smile on their face. And Bakugo's like, "Bro, that's kind of cringy." But anyway, he gets serious now, and Deku launches himself forward with lightning trailing behind. So it looks freaking sick. I'm not gonna lie. But they both collide, and a huge explosion takes over, with like lightning going around it. So at the same time, All Might is like soaring through the sky, worrying about his time limit, and sees the explosion like covered in lightning by the school. So he looks at it. No, no, he looks at the bottle like holding the villain and kicks the air to like launch himself at the explosion. So basically, the tunnel thing, it already happened, but Deku wasn't there for it. But yeah. So All Might like lands at the scene and sees like a group of students looking over at two other like students covered in bruises and grunting with pain. So they both felt that. And he rushes over to and like the man's like, "What happened?" So Deku opens his eyes to see All Might and grins, like closing his eyes again. And Deku woke up in a hospital, I'm gonna say, and like wondered what happened. Then he remembered like passing out after he seen All Might. Yeah, yeah. Hmm. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, okay. I'm sorry, I'm trying to think of something. But yeah, so he looks at his hands and sees like little bits of lightning circling around him. Then he hears the door open. Well, I don't have tea, but I do have water, so hold on. Later today I need to get some green tea. But anyway, yeah, so he hears the door open and the curtain was like pulled back with the doctor and Inko standing there. So Inko, she instantly like hugged Deku saying like I'm so proud of you. But because she knows she heard what happened and what he did. So before Deku could say anything, the doctor told Deku that like someone was here to see him. And hmm, see, this is what I was thinking of. Either this is this during the same day or this is the next day. To make it more sense, I'd probably give it the next day because then All Might has his time limit back, which is yeah, yeah, okay, yeah, hmm, yeah, okay, yeah. This is the next day. But before Deku could say anything, no, 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 no. Deku like asked who, and All Might walks in saying like I am here, signature speech, whatever it is. But Deku geeked out, and All Might asked like the doctor and Inko if he could talk with Deku for a second or in private. So they both nodded nervously and awkwardly, like walked out because shoot, it's All Might. Like freaking, you're in the presence of a god, basically. But Deku asked like, "Why are you here?" And All Might looked at Deku and said, "Because I was told you saved a group of students with a smile on your face." So Deku started to tear up, and he asked like, "What happened after I passed out?" And All Might said like, "I got a story. I got the story of what happened from the group of students, and they told me you were quirkless, but the moment you seen people in need of help, you rushed in and saved them." So then Deku looked down and said like, "I've always wanted to be a hero like you." And All Might replied saying, "You will. You can be a hero." And after that, Deku cried tears of joy. And 2 weeks passed. But yeah. What? Bakugo. Did I ever say what happened to Bakugo? Hmm. We just know that Bakugo went to the hospital as well. But yeah, so Deku found out that Bakugo was like suspended for 2 weeks, due to him causing a huge fight. Which since the 2 weeks have passed, I guess he's back. But and the word got around that Deku got a very strong quirk and was even like noticed by All Might. So he went from the most unpopular kid in school to the most popular. Like he's above Bakugo now. But his name was like growing fast. And the main thing Deku wondered was like why Bakugo was pushing him so hard with wanting to become a hero. So Deku did get an autograph from All Might, which is framed proudly in his room, and was told that he will be expecting him at 1A. He'll be expecting him at class 1A, like hero course in UA. So so far, the next 10 months, Deku made sure to train his newly found quirk in time for the entrance exam. Okay, yeah. Let me explain Bakio more because I don't think I did. Basically, what happened with Bakio, he did get in major trouble for doing that, and he was suspended for the 2 weeks. He did go to the hospital, and I feel like something else should happen. Something else should really happen. I guess they were fined. Yeah, his chances of going to UA, they did go down, but he fought to make him, like, go back up. So everything's still like okay, but they're not so sure about it. But yeah, let me get back to it. So on the first month, Deku was trying to like find out how much power he could handle, which he was in the hospital. Oh no, when he was in the hospital, his arm like looked cooked of from how much lightning took over. Kind of like one for all percentage, which I feel like it would be easier to put inside. So to put it in a percentage, I'm gonna make it simple. By the end of the month, he could use 8% of his natural power. Like, same level as Bakio. We'll just do that. He's on par. Within a month, like, that's pretty good too. Kind of impossible, but yeah, that's good. Um, so on the second month, he was like trying to find out ways he could use the quirk while also like building his own support items. So he read up that he can like use support items as long as he built them himself. So he designed gloves that had a water gun feature come out of like his knuckles, which sounds stupid, but it's for a more intense shock because if you put something like a toaster inside of a bath, like that's whoa, that's gonna probably kill you. But yeah, so Deku also realized that the more electricity he gives off, the more drawback he gets. So he made a plan for a suit to have like a layer of rubber like in it, but it's hidden under another material, so it won't get in the way. But that suit must feel terrible if it has rubber. Anyway, it's just a what if. But by the 10th month, Deku already had an order planned for his hero costume. So he had his glove support item already, and multiple moves like he could use with this quirk, and he found out a bunch of things that he could do. Kind of like he's a glitch, but yeah. So the only thing he like struggled with was his hero name, which he thought about it before, saying like, with the quirk I have, my hero name has to be cool, but I don't know what to do. Like I would go with Thor or something easy, but I don't want to claim myself as God while I'm saving people. Plus, that's not original. I guess I'll just wait until it's clear to me. But during the 10-month time skip, him and Bakio, like, they never looked at each other, even in class. Like, they never looked each other in the eye ever since the time they fought. So one thing caught Deku off, though, is he still wondered why Bakio got so angry about him not going to the hero course. Which the next day of the exams took place. So and Deku packed up his gloves, tracksuit, and put on his middle school uniform. By the way, I should say that Deku's gloves, like, they still look the same as the picture. No, no, no. That's season 3 gloves, aren't they? No, I want them to be season 4, the end of season 4, where Hatsume gave him the gloves. They look like that, basically. The Air Force. Pretty sure that's in the anime. Yeah, it is. It is. It's. Oh, I'm trying to double make sure. Yeah, okay, yeah, it is. I forgot. I think I was watching it yesterday on Crunchyroll. I'm not gonna lie. I've been watching a ton of anime. But anyway, let me get back to the story. Shoot. But hold on, real quick. One thing I should say is Domestic Girlfriend. You should watch that. But now let me get back to it. So he walked out the door after Inko told him like good luck and started walking. So Then he looked around and quickly like teleported to UA. But he wasn't expecting to use that much power. So a huge lightning bolt comes down to pick him up, basically, and another one appears, like placing him where he wants. So when the lightning bolt did come down, though, he scared everyone there because it's a freaking thunderbolt, bro. That stuff strikes down right in front of everybody. That's not gonna be cool. So he lifted himself up and still had like green lightning surrounding him. So he legit looks like a god. Though he didn't mean to make it look like that. So everyone around was like looking at him, except for one person. They walked right past him, not saying a word. So yeah, Deku told everyone sorry while bowing and like quickly rushed into the building because he like embarrassed himself but made himself look so cool at the same time. Like, however, there was one idiot who decided to touch him on the shoulder after he just had electricity surrounding him, and you know, then the person who grabbed him, they got fried and fell to the ground like instantly. So Deku just quickly drops down beside him and absorbs all the electricity out of him. Jesus Christ. I just got an update for a game that scared the crap out of me. Holy crap. That's yeah, that's basically what the Thunderbolt was. But anyway, shoot. Yeah, holy crap. Then Deku bows after saying like, "Sorry, that's my protective barrier. It wasn't supposed to harm you that badly. And I guess I wasn't paying attention." So Ida gets up and yells like, "No one's supposed to use their quirk on school grounds unless approved of, you simpleton," or something like that. I feel like he would say the word simpleton. But, Deku stops bowing and says, "But I said I was sorry," and was left standing there. So he heard other people around him questioning, like, how powerful is that green haired guy? And I feel like we're supposed to know who he is because of how strong he is. So, Deku just doesn't know how to feel. He's already making an impression of himself. But then he finally, like, makes it to the written test and gets a perfect score on it because he's a genius. And when it comes down to it, he was planning on doing support course to begin with, so he was smart already. But the principal Netsu, he gets all the written exams instantly, and he personally looks through them. Let me take another sip of water. I think that's count 3 so far. I'm starting to run out. Shoot. But yeah, so Nezu looks through them, and then when he gets to Deku's test, he gets confused, say like, huh? And All Might asks like, what's up? And Nezu shows him that all the answers are correct. And then Nezu says like, that hasn't been done ever since I've taken the test. Basically just flexing off how intelligent he is. And All Might looks at the name and grows a huge grin. And Nezu asks like, what's he grinning at? And All Might tells him, remember that kid I told you about with the manifested lightning quirk? And Nezu replies like, really? I didn't expect him to be that intelligent as well. And All Might continues saying, yeah, I remember him saying he was planning on doing the support course since he didn't have a quirk. So Nezu finishes off by saying like, okay then, now I'm like starting to get invested into this kid. So Deku made it to the auditorium and sat like next to Bakio without saying a word. And then Bakio says like, what did I say about you coming here? So Deku responds like, still looking forward, well, I have an old dream that has to be accomplished, right? So Bakio does one of those like things or whatever it is and says like, shut up, nerd. And they stop talking from there. So the presentation gets finished without Ida being a Karen, and Deku heads off to get his tracksuit. So he heads out to the area and gets himself like psyched up, and he thinks in his head like this test only involves like huge robots, which is honestly too easy for my quirk. I think I want it to be more harder, actually. Like, that's what he's thinking, not me, because I'm lazy. But um, then he hears someone say like, "Hey, you're the one that came in with the thunderbolt, right?" Sorry, I freaking brain went oof, bing bong, a boing boing. But yeah, so Deku opens his eyes and sees it's a girl. So he nervously, instantly like, blah, blah. He gets nervous instantly and starts to ramble, saying, "Yeah, that's me, but I accidentally teleported, used like using too much power without thinking, and summoned the thunderbolt. I don't even know how. I didn't even know I could do that. And on top of that, ugh. Okay, you know what? Let me just pause for a second. Okay. And on top of that, I did it in the open place because I was so nervous about entering in UA. Sorry for talking so much. You look very pretty." And he instantly had his face because he was like, "Oh shoot, I'm sorry." That came out of nowhere. And the girl starts to blush and says like, "No, no, 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 it's okay, it's okay. I'm sorry, my name is Uraka, and I have a zero gravity quirk." Like, trying to change up the conversation. And Deku uncovers his face, getting excited and saying like, "Wait, you mean you can make things zero gravity?" Or I think that's what you mean. And Uraka says, "Yeah, that's actually my quirk. Also, what are those gloves meant for?" And then like Magic Mike starts the countdown, and Deku looks at the door and says, or the large thingy, and he says, "Hey, when we both get to UA, we should talk again." And runs to the front of the gate. Then the countdown like reaches zero, and and the gate door starts to open with everyone running through. 4. Um, yeah. I think I need to make this end because clearly I'm freaking dying. But anyway, so Deku makes it um as well and looks around like he blinks and his eyes. Yeah. Can I even finish this? Jesus Christ. I can't freaking talk for crap. Deku makes it as well and looks around. So, he blinks and his eyes, like, everything looks like Iron Man's screen in the suit. Basically, I'm about to come up with some logic that makes no sense but makes sense at the same time. So, Deku can manipulate a certain amount of lightning/energy around his body, like, the same as I said at the beginning. And during his training, he found out that he can enhance the power of a specific area if he puts enough energy there. So, but the drawback is that if he does it for too long, it can strain that location. So, he basically already knows full cow, but he just knows if he puts a bit more energy inside of one spot, like his arm, for example, he could do more power. So he locates all of the robots and starts destroying them one by one. But yeah, he already put energy into his eye specifically, which gave him a HUD like Iron Man. He has like how much percentage he has left of his battery life and all that stuff. But yeah, with everyone he destroyed, he made sure to keep his energy gauge at max, kind of like a battery life. Yeah. So he just absorbed the energy from the robots and made sure to keep it. So some of them he defeated by overflowing their energy, causing them to explode, and others he like did by putting more energy in his arms and copy All Might's signature smashes. 5. I don't know why I'm so thirsty today. But yeah, so the teachers like that were watching over, they seen Deku and were fascinated by him, but they like tried to focus on the other students as well. Except for All Might and Nezu, they didn't care. So, you know, They were just fixating on Deku the entire time while talking back and forth. So Nezu says like, it looks like he's copying your style or smashes, I guess. And All Might says back like, yeah, and they look spot on. Like this dude knows a lot about me, but I wasn't expecting him to learn this much with the amount of time he had with the quirk. So Nezu responds like, honestly, I didn't think you would have realized that, but yes, he does look very intelligent when it comes down to quirks and heroes. So he continues like, I also looked to see if the other kid applied as well. Bakio, I'm pretty sure. So All Might looks over at Nezu and says, you told me you personally looked into the situation that occurred during that time. What are your thoughts on it? Oh, shoot. Why do I feel like I'm getting sick all of a sudden? Eh. Yeah, I'll just finish it up. But Nezu keeps looking at Deku fighting robots and says, like, I think that Bakio is not that bad. He has a huge ego, but from what I've heard from those students, he wants to be better than you and to be better and to be number one. So also, I was told he got angry that Midoriya said he wasn't going to the hero course. So All Might looks back and tells Nezu, "Thanks for looking into it for me." Then Nezu asks, like, "You're planning on giving it to Midoriya, aren't you?" And All Might says nothing. He just presses the 0 pointer button. So Deku is like breathing heavily, and as he's piling up all the robots, and then he feels like a huge amount of energy coming from a direction. So he gets pushed by the others who are running away, and he teleports out of the crowd. Not with a huge thunderbolt, by the way, because he's not using that much power, and looks to see like the 0 pointer. So he smiles and thinks to himself like, I thought they would send that out. Like I thought they would send that out. It's a good thing I maxed out on power. Then he sees Uraraka trapped underneath some rubble, and after that he like seen after he's seen that, yeah, he charged up, causing like lightning to spark off of him, and then vanished. So Deku was seen in the air, glowing with bright green lightning, pulling back his fist, and the other people that applied, they're seeing it too. So Deku says out loud, like, now I can finally see the full potential of this power at 100%. If my body can handle it, then I'll train and keep working harder to become. Shoot, let me retry this. Now that I can finally see the full potential of this power at 100%, if my body can't handle it, then I'll train and keep working harder to become as great as All Might. And he screamed, "Smash!" Basically, like just yelling out "Smash!" And his fist connected with the robot and obliterated the front of it with thunder like coming from the sky, and then piercing through the back, exploding the entire robot. So what was left of the robot, like it fell over, and Deku was like falling, having no control over his body. So Uraraka slapped Deku before he can hit the ground, kind of like Cannon, and everyone's seen like Deku unconscious, with like bruises and with like bruised up limbs like Cannon. So Recovery Girl came through and healed him, making him like slowly wake back up. And one of the students, like, they began clapping, and soon enough, like, everyone else did as well. So All Might grins and said, like, I think that answers your question, and just walks off. But the entrance exam finishes, and everyone is sent home until they get their results. And I'm gonna end it there because apparently I'm dying. You could just see the freaking okay, you know what? Let me just let me know what you guys think about this part, please. Tell me what you want to see in future parts. Maybe like ships and all that other crap that the toxic side of MHA wants. But remember to laugh and have yourselves a good one, and peace out.